how can we channelize our anger? Yeah. As this is Singapore, I spoke on burn your anger before anger burns you. So, I said three things are there. It's an elaborate subject, but first is acknowledge, second is process, third is act. So, rather than seeing anger as bad or good, some people may see anger, I should never become angry. Some people say anger as good. Now, I got the power to put this person in the place. Rather than seeing anger as good or bad, we see anger simply as a psychological reaction to a life event. Just as it is very cold, our body may start trembling. It's a physical reaction to a life event. Now, some people may tremble much more, some people may hardly tremble really. Different bodies are different. But similarly, different minds are different. So, when we get angry, rather than seeing our anger judgmentally as good or bad, we see that simply objectively as this is a psychological reaction to a life event. And anger indicates that we care. So, anger, when do we become angry about something or someone? When we care about it. So, when we see this anger, acknowledge, yes, I am feeling anger right now. But, I am here, my anger is here. Rather than identifying with the anger, we identify and acknowledge. Anger is present over here. Then after that, process means, we said anger indicates that we care. So try to understand what it is that I care about. Say, if we had told someone to clean the room, and the person not say, we told our child to clean the room and they not clean it. Now what is it that I care about? Is it that when the room is unclean and guests are coming and they will see how unclean the house is? Is it that, that my child is undisciplined? Or is it that if my child doesn't listen to me, that means I am an effective parent and I am insecure because of that? So, when we process, we try to go down deeper to what is it that I care about. And when we do that, we will find that there is a possibility to agree on it. That means yes. Now the child, if I really care for this child, I want a child to learn good habits, then we can communicate that to them in a more effective. Last is act. Act doesn't mean that every time that we just forgive or neglect, nor does it mean lash out. But we can, when we process it, normally we think of our emotions in two terms, either express or repress. But process means we go down to what is it that I really care about over here. And once we understand what I care about, then we can act on that. Okay, if you want a child to learn the ethics of cleanliness, that's one thing. If you want a child to learn the ethics of obedience, that's another thing. So, what is it that I care about? Then we stress that and act accordingly, then it's likely to be more effective. So, acknowledge. If you deny the anger, it'll burst eventually. Acknowledge, then process. What is it that I really care about? And then act to address that which we care about. Otherwise, what we care about is lost and only our anger or outrage at that particular action comes up. The person says, it's a small thing, why are you so upset about it? So what happens? Communication doesn't happen. If we learn to process anger, then it helps quite a bit to deal with it.
It is said that whenever somebody talks bad about your spiritual masters or the Vaishnavas, then it's okay to be angry. I think, how you explain this?
If somebody talks bad about our spiritual master or Vaishnavas, then it's okay to be angry. Yes, it's a principle that we shouldn't tolerate the blasphemy of the Lord or his devotees. At the same time, we have to see how we can address the issue constructively. The example is given of how destructively this principle may be applied is in the Daksha Yajna. First, Daksha criticized Lord Shiva, and then Shiva's followers cursed Daksha, and Daksha's followers cursed Shiva's followers, and eventually it became a disaster. There was violence and there was killing, and it escalated beyond all proportions. So now we could say when Shiva was minimized, when Shiva was not given the proper place of sacrifice that he was due in that yajna, it is the duty of his disciples to be angry. Yes, it is an insult to their spiritual master. That is true. But ultimately, every principle that we may hear is subordinate to the principle that we are meant to serve Krishna. We are meant to remember Krishna, we are meant to serve Krishna. So, by getting angry and by venting out that anger, am I really serving Krishna? Am I really making the situation more favorable for the service of Krishna? Or am I making it more unfavorable? So basically the idea, the underlying this point again, that we should be angry when Krishna or his devotees are blasphemed or spiritual master blasphemed. The point is that we should not be emotionally uninvolved in connection with Krishna. The whole purpose of bhakti is that we need to be emotionally engaged with Krishna. So if somebody whom we love is criticized, naturally we feel bad about it. So the underlying principle is that if we don't feel anything when those whom we are supposed to love are criticized, then that means maybe we don't have any love for them. So the underlying principle is that we should have emotional involvement, we should have emotional connection, we should have emotions invested in Krishna and his devotees. Now specifically that anger, how we express it, that may have to be carefully decided in a way that is constructive, not destructive, that helps in addressing the situation, not worsen the situation. Okay?
You gave an example about barriers, like when Hanuman met Ram for the first time, he spoke in a way such that the barriers are reduced because Ram himself was vulnerable, searching out for Sita Mata. Now, the question is, does Lord also go through all these emotions where he is vulnerable, or he is just acting in a way so that it gives lessons to or instructions for the common man?
Good question. Now, when does the Lord also go through emotions, or is he simply acting to give instructions? Well, different bhakti traditions have different understandings of this. The Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding is that the Lord is Rasaraj. He has rasa, he has emotions. And his emotions demonstrate him to be a living, loving person, not just an abstract principle. So God is a living, loving person. And his emotions enhance his personality. So when Hiranyakashipu is threatening Prahlad, and Narasimha gets angry at that time, that anger shows his bhakta vatsalya. So is he simply acting to threaten or scare Hiranyakashipu? No, he's really angry at that time. And we see that anger even after Hiranyakashipu is delivered. We have a hospital in Mumbai, in this operation theatre, they have put a picture of Hiranyakashipu being killed by Narasimha. So once the patient came there, he said, "What is that?" It's an operation. It's the original operation. What was the result of the operation? Operation successful, patient liberated. So now, in fact, Narasimha was so angry that even after Hiranyakashipu was killed, still he remained angry. And when the Devatas came to pacify, still the Lord was not pacified. So the Acharyas explained that actually why was he not pacified? Because he was angry with the Devatas that I love Prahlad and you know that I love Prahlad. And yet when Prahlad was being tormented and threatened, you neither protected him and you neither protested about it. So you did not do anything to protect or protest, and now you are offering all these prayers to me. I don't accept this prayers. But eventually, when Prahlad offered prayers, the Lord became peaceful. So his emotions are also real. Now there's a difference. This is a whole big subject, but the idea is that Krishna, when he goes through Leela at one level is like a drama. Now, in the drama, now when we use the word drama, there is a sense of unreality to it. But it's not unreality, this is the supreme reality. This is where the Supreme Lord relishes loving emotions. So we could say that if you consider Krishna as the central actor in this drama, then if it's Rajalila, then Yoga Maya is like the director. So according to Yoga Maya's direction, maybe Mother Yashoda catches Krishna and tries to tie him, Or the direction, Krishna tries to run away, Yogamaya. So Yogamaya is like the director. So the actors act according to director's direction. And for the actor to actually enjoy, relish the role, the actor has to enter into that role. And to the extent the actor enters into that role, to the extent the onlookers also enter into that role. So Krishna, when he is performing his Leela, he enters into that role. And he experiences those emotions. Rudantam muhur netram yugmam rujantam. Karamboja yugmena satanka netram. So satanka netram, he is crying and his eyes are with atanka. Atanka means terror. What is my mother going to do to me now? The real fear was there at that time. But that doesn't mean that he is no longer God, that he is fearful. How it is, there is a director who directs the play, and the players, the actors enter into the role. But the director also directs according to a script. The script writer determines what role who is going to do. So we could say that in Krishna Lila, Krishna is the actor, Yogamaya is the director. But Krishna is the script writer. So that means that Krishna is controlled by Yogamaya according to a script that he himself has written. So in that sense, Krishna, this is Achintya Bhedabhed in Leela. Krishna is not in control because Krishna is running, Krishna is fearful, Krishna is upset, Krishna is angry. So he is not in control. But still, those emotions are also according to his script, according to his plan. So he is in control. So in that sense, when Krishna goes through various emotions, there's a real emotion that he is going through, but that doesn't mean that he has forgotten his real position as God.